What is good, you guys? Welcome back to another Invincible Guardians of the Globe. Invincible 4. Invincible Guardians of the Globe. Today we are going to be doing a updated um tier list. Now, I know that there's another character coming soon, a lot sooner than we probably think, but I want to pump this video out. And the last video I did, I kind of left the people on the board, and we just excuse me, we basically just like, how can I say? We basically just like added the extra new people and then spoke about if we were going to change the people or stuff like that. We're probably going to do that when the other new character drops. But for this one, I wanted to go more into detail about it the same way I did for my artifact video, because I had noticed that the artifact video helped a lot of people. I had a lot of people telling me that the artifact video really helped them. So I want to do the same thing with this video. I want to do something with the same thing for this one. So with that being said, I am going to be, as you see we have it on screen, I'm going to be going over characters' kits and their skills, why I'm putting them where I'm putting them, and what, giving you the insight on why I think certain characters belong certain places. Simple as that. First things first, let's take care of the tiers. Right, so let's get into it. We have our tiers, and we have our, what is it? 63 characters? 64 characters. We have our 64 characters. So, with this said, okay, it's going to be a little tough. And the reason why I say it's going to be a little tough to do all these characters is it's going to be a lot of exampling and a lot of demonstrating. So we're going to hop into it, but just understand, let me tell you right now, strap yourself in, go get some snacks, go get yourself a drink, because this is going to be a long video. This video is probably going to be an hour and 30 minutes long, if I'm being totally honest. Maybe even slightly longer than that. Where the hell is the hole for this? There we go. So the reason why I say that is this. First things first, let's go over the common characters. Now, for most of these common characters, they're going to end up in the useless category for multiple reasons. One, you can't build common characters. Two, there's no real reason to use a common character. And three, they only have one ability. So they're going to end up here. Now, there is an order to them that I will say. I'm going to say that Reanimen should be up here. But because of Komodo Dragon, I'm going to do it this way and put the Lizard League members above Komodo Dragon. And I would say it's this. I would say it's something like this. Something along the lines of this. Now, I will put these characters here because, once again, the Lizard League members, they do have the Lizard League tag, which is pretty cool. The arm, the malefactor, they have a good amount of tags. They have some of the most tags I've ever seen on a common character. So, for that reasoning, like Flaxen leaders, the Flaxen invaders are Invader, Flaxen, Range, Not of this Earth, Armed. They have a good amount of tags too. And then these just have Cecil Secret, Melee, and Ground. Now, they all only have one ability, and when we go from here, I think the Reanimen have the best stats. They're 2.9 basically, with a 2 point and then 1. And then he basically has it. The Magnemites actually have the most health, but lower damage. And then the two Lizard League members here both have more attack power than the Reanimen, but less health. So yeah. And the Lizard League members ultimate is actually not bad. It's actually not a bad ultimate. They both have the same ultimate, but it's not a bad one. The ultimate from the Magnemite isn't the best, but it's also not the worst, especially on a common character. The ultimate from the Flaxen Soldiers definitely is probably the worst out of all the common characters. And then for the Reaniman, you have this punch here, strong punch that stuns an enemy, and stun, and we all know stun is a really good one. So for a common character, this isn't a bad ultimate. And then the bite, which is just a good damage dealer, but it's nothing insane. But overall, common characters are just not usable because mainly the fact is you can't rank them up. That's the main reason why they're unusable, is that you can't rank them up. If you were able to take one of these common characters to Omnipotent Plus, then maybe they would actually have some usage. Maybe building a Flaxen leader, or some Reaniman, or even maybe the Lizard League members, because then you could actually have a full 5-man Lizard League team. Maybe then they would have some use. But as of right now, being that they can only stay at common and you can't rank them up beyond a common, there is no use. Then other characters that I would also put in this category, even though they shouldn't be in this category in all honesty, but I'm going to because they're just that bad. Darkwing 2. He is just astronomically dog water. Even with the buffs they gave him, he is just so bad. He is just unusable. The guy from the Tentacle Criminal faction, he is unusable as well. He's absolutely garbage. I don't use him. Like, he's useless. Who else I will put in here? For the most part, I probably would say that's it. When it comes to useless, like completely useless, I would say that's probably it. And then going over the two people that we just added there, we're going to go look for, where is it? Him. His stats are just really bad. He is, I think, a medium speed. His tags are okay. The order, human, melee, dexterity, and grounded. Duality, and grounded. And then it's just his abilities are so bad, bro. His ability and his damage put out is just so bad. He's really bad, like really bad. The only reason you would use him is legitimately for an order team, and at that point you're better off just using Titan. I don't know. He's just really bad. I do not recommend building him at all unless he gets a case file down the line, and that's the only way I would ever even consider building this guy, is if he had a case file. That's literally it. He is just useless. And then when we get up here and we get to Mr. Darkwing 2 here, his damage output is just really bad. His healing is just really bad. Like, and the fact that he disappears off the battlefield is another thing I really don't like about him. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm being dramatic by putting him in useless, but I think people will agree with me. He is useless. I don't think anyone will really use this character under any circumstances. He's just not good. But yeah. His overall HP isn't the worst. His overall attack is pretty bad, and his overall defense isn't the worst. But his skills are just dramatically bad. Like, dramatically bad. His tags are actually really good. I actually love his tags. But I can't... I love the fact they also gave him Cecil's Secret, because that at least gives him some ability to be used with Cecil, which is why I said you could put him in niche, but I'm putting him in useless because I just think he's so bad. Yeah, hopefully he gets a real rework soon. I know they've been trying to give him little minor ones to hopefully give him some type of use, but he needs a full kit rework. He's bad, bro. He's absolutely bad. And then, okay, so now let's get to niche. Now, niche. The way niche is going to work, the category of niche, is basically going to be... They have a rare usage, some usage, or a reasoning to be put into a team. Even if that reasoning is to die. So for that being said, excuse me, we're going to start out with these guys. These guys are not good, but they have your rare, unique niche uses in fire damage and stunning ability. So once again, we're gonna come down to comp to the rares. We're gonna go here. He does have a, what is it? Creates a electrical dealing 400% damage for 2 seconds and applies a 10% defensive reduction for 3 seconds. Yeah. So, and I think when you scale it up, it gets like a damage reduction ability, like a stun ability on it. And he's also good against Guardians of the Globe members. Yeah. So reducing a team's defense is pretty good. So yeah, and then the main reason why I would put him here in niche is because you can use him in the Titan team up for Titan's case file. You can use him. You can use him and Isotope. So yes, I will say he is only useful because of that. And then you come to the Magma Man. And the Magma Man has, I believe, a burn effect as you boost his main skill. Yeah, when you boost his main skill and at the base, it has a burn effect. Burn effects are really good in the game. And then he has the Order tag, which is actually one of the best abilities out of a lot of the blue characters for the criminal faction, because the Order, a lot of the criminal characters have the Order tag, so it's not a bad ability for them. So his abilities aren't the worst. He's just not the best damage dealer, other than his burn effect. So once again, I don't think you should build this character, but some people have. I've seen some people have this character at a high build level, and he does do some decent burn damage in certain teams that really can work. So there is a little usage nuance. Then we're gonna go to Isotope for the same reasoning. Isotope has this ability here, which is the teleportation ability. This ability is super annoying and really good at wasting time. If you have a super high Isotope built up, using him for something like, and I don't recommend this at all, but if you did have a super, it's like some people do stupid projects just for the fun of it. If you have an Isotope that's like level 1200, he will be the most annoying thing on planet Earth to go against, because he is constantly going to be teleporting my fucking team away from them, making it so much harder to kill the enemy team, making it that you can't take outpost in something along the lines of a alliance war. So for that reasoning, I'm going to say he has a niche usage. Also, his healing abilities aren't the worst in the game, but they definitely aren't the best. Another person in niche, we're going to put Oliver. Oliver has only one real usage, and that is to be on a team with Universa and die. That is her only usage. That is the only reason you would use her. It's simply to be killed to boost up your Universa. That is literally it. Someone else along the lines of the same thing is kind of Multipole, but I'm going to put Multipole a little higher than this, only because Multipole is actually a good character. He's actually pretty good, but you can use Multipole somewhat in the same way for someone like a Sinister Mark and someone like a Darkwing. They both have ability to get stronger or deal extra damage off deaths of humans, and he is a human, and his clones count as humans, so that's a really good thing, another niche ability you can use. But I'm going to probably put him higher than niche for that reasoning, though. I don't know, we'll see. I'm thinking about it, because Multipole has this ability right here. Where is Multipole? Multipole's ultimate allows him to make up to, if you boost it up, he can make up to 5 copies of himself. 4 copies of himself in total. So it's really useful for that reasoning. And doing it this way, I've seen people use something like Bergamot Burger to do some real damage. Bergamot Trash Bag to do some real damage. I've even went against a Multipole that was level 1600, and he absolutely demolished my team. Like, we got smoked. anytime he popped his ultimate, it was just like an obsessive amount of damage that he dealt. So with that being said, I don't think I should add him in this category, but he is a rare usage category. He is a rare niche kind of category. Um who else would I put in niche? You know what? I'm gonna put Martian Man actually, now that I think about it, in useless. Because he is kinda useless. Like he doesn't really have any healing ability, and as a support you kinda need it. He more so is kinda like Shapesmith, funny enough, from the same planet, but he's not as durable and he doesn't heal. So yeah, I would put him in useless. Um he's probably somewhat the same between Shapesmith and Isotope. He's just kind of there to waste time, but he's nowhere near as tanky as Shapesmith, and he doesn't have as long as an annoying ability as Isotope. So I would say he's useless. Only reason, once again, you would even use a character like this would simply be from another person's case file, or if he got a case file. So no. Um, I actually do. You know what? I actually do want to do this. Hold up. Let me add another category here, and let's just title this category bad. Bad. And let's move them up into bad. Because let's not say useless. Let's say bad. They're just bad. Bad. They're just bad. Because that allows me to add characters like Duplicate in there. She's just bad. She's just, no, it's just not usable. It's just not good. Black Samson. I'll put him in the topper echelon of bad. Yeah. Who else is just bad? Mm, do I want to move these two down now that I could do that? Yeah, I'm gonna move these two down. I think he is better than these two, and I think he is better than these two. No. They're definitely better than him. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I could put the people that are niche in this category. Like, he will be considered a niche. He will be considered a niche. He will be considered niche. I'd actually do it. I'll do it this way. Actually, I might put him up here. Okay. So let's actually pull him down for now then. I just want to go over the people that are in each category. Who else will we put in niche? Niche. I think that's it for niche. I don't think anyone else I would put here in niche. Someone that's only used. Oh, I mean, but she's okay. She's also okay. Yeah, I think that's it for niche. So only people we gotta go over is Oliver, Flax, and Later, and yeah, okay. So Duplicate, I don't think it's hard to explain. She's basically a worse version of Multipole. So yeah, I couldn't put her there. Black Samson, he is he is not the worst, but he's just not he's just fodder. You're never gonna see anybody really building or using a Black Samson in like arena or anything like that. Only reason you would ever see anybody using him is simply for case files. That's it. Same thing kind of goes for Kid Oliver. Some people built him up for his case file, but for the most part, no one's really using him. And then Kid Oliver also, only reason people use him is mainly for his ability to die for Universa. So I'll put him at the top of niche because he's probably the most used out of these category people for the fact of dying for Universa. And then for Flaxen Leader, he boosts with his ability. Where is it? For this ability right here, he boosts the resources of any GTA op you are doing for when you're going against humans. I actually have built him and used him for this ability, and it does help. It does make a difference. So yeah, for that reasoning, I will say for sure he is not the worst. He's not the worst. Now we're gonna get to OK. In the OK category, we're gonna go with, surprisingly, with how much I shit on him, we're gonna go with Sinister Mark. Now, I do think Sinister Mark could be in bad because I think his kit is one of his kit is good. His damage and everything else is just so bad, and that's why I'm gonna put him in OK instead of putting him in bad. But yeah. Then we're gonna go, cause Sinister Mark, like, from where I have him at, his abilities aren't the worst. Like, this ability here is something to mimic like Universa, and which is why I said he plays well with someone like a multipole on dying. And this ability here he has at the bottom is kind of just like a really good damage ability, but it's that his damage is so bad that even this ability doesn't do what it should do. So he just needs a dramatic rework. He's just not good. I could show you his base omnipotent stats without gear. That's his base stats without gear on him. And that's the difference with the gear on him. So like I said, he's definitely a odd character to use. I know some people do use him, but I wouldn't really recommend using him. I know a lot of people want to use him because he looks cool, but looking cool and being good is two different things. This is the only ability I say that's actually pretty good in his kit. This one is kind of very niche because we know how Life Leech and everything works, and Life Leech isn't the best, but I do like the fact that he has some type of true damage built into this. Like I said, his abilities look really good. It's just they don't perform the way it sounds. Like when you read his abilities, you're like, oh, this guy's cracked. And then when you use him, he just doesn't seem good. He just seems very lackluster. So I'm going to put him in OK. Another person I'm going to put in OK is going to be Titan. Titan is not bad, but Titan used to be old reliable. There's nothing wrong with Titan. His abilities are fine. He's just outdated. That's literally all it is Titan is just outdated. There's just better characters, better people for the position, and his damage output isn't bad. He's a good durable tank, but at the same time he's a human, so it's just If I'm going to use a person that's a human and take the risk of having to get my absolute teeth kicked in by Anissa, I ain't doing it for a Titan. Let's just say that. Like, yeah, I think he's okay. Iguana, I think she's okay. King Lizard, where is he at? I think he's okay. I don't think they're that good. I'll show you once again the stats. Like, where is he? This is Iguana. Like, her abilities sound really good, and I thought she was going to be a lot better than she was. I was always telling everybody, like, she's a human battle beast. She's something like Battle Beast. She's going to be really good. And yeah, she was something like Battle Beast. All right, complete, utter glass cannon without the cannon. Like, she dies really easily. Her damage output is super lackluster from what her kit shows. She reminds me a lot of like Sinister Mark. I honestly would put Titan above her. Like, that's how bad she is. King Lizard, I would definitely say is not too bad, but he's also not too good. His damage output isn't the best. His HP isn't the best. But I do love his confusion ability. I do love his ultimate. I don't like his making someone focus on somebody else ability. And his headshot ability is so rare for it to even trigger that it's like basically useless. So I'm gonna put him in good for that reason because only 2 of his skills are good. Um, Once again for okay, what are we doing for okay? I mean, Strinking Ray is okay. Like, you can use her, but she's not really that good. The only thing you would even use Strinking Ray for, and she does have a totem, so they try to make her a little more useful. But the only thing you would really use her for is this ability here, and it's because when Strinking Ray is allied with other humans, she increases their defense by 15% for each a guardian of the globe in the team. And this is at level 10, mind you. At level 1, where most of you guys will have the ability at probably, she's only going to increase the defense by 5%. So it's like, eh. Now, 15% per GDA character can be a big deal if you're using like a full niche GDA team. So if you're using like a robot, a shapesmith, a bulletproof with Strinking Ray and Donald. Now, the problem with that is only people that are going to get the buff of the defense is going to be human allies. So she'll get the defense buff, Bulletproof will get the defense buff, but the robot, the Shapesmith, and the Donald won't get the defense buff. And that's another reason why it's like, okay, the ability is good. The flaw is you have to use humans, which for the most part, if you're going against someone like a Nissa, so you can't use it for Arena, if you're going against someone like a Nissa, I don't care how much you're boosting the defense, and this is going to lower that defense because how many humans you have on the team, and she's going to absolutely smack you up. But yeah, so for that reasoning, it's a very good ability for GDA events, like GDA events. But even in that situation, it's like the defense isn't really your problem in GDA events. It's how much damage you can do, because you can have a ton of defense, but if you're not killing the enemies, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I don't know. That ability isn't the greatest to me. Her ultimate is damage-wise lackluster. This ability is pretty decent, and this ability is pretty decent. So for all of that, like I said, I think I'm gonna put her in okay. Monster Girl, I think, is slightly better, so I'll leave her down here for now. Who else will be in okay? Okay. Uh, War Woman is okay. Her damage is actually probably worse than King Lizard's. War Woman is probably one of the worst attackers in the game, but her abilities carry her. Like this ability here, when you actually boost it up, if you get this ability at level 10, it actually does some nasty damage. Like it does some gnarly damage. This ability here, when playing with other original Guardians of the Globe members, this ability can help a team, a niche team, and it does work alongside Shrinking Ray, so they have kind of good usage together. This ability, I boosted it thinking it was going to make her better. It really doesn't help her. She doesn't heal much. If you put Vital Tablet on her, maybe it could help her a little bit, but And then this ability, same thing with the stun effect. Everybody she pushes back when she pops her ultimate will get affected. Now that ability is really good. Once again, tied in with her ultimate. That's really good. But she's overall just not a good character, so I'm going to put her in the okay category. Now, there is a weird usage team you can do with her, but once again, it's not like a go-to team or something like that. Yeah, I think we're gonna stop there for okay. I think that's good. Now we're gonna go to decent. For decent, I got a few people that I want to put in decent. We're gonna start in decent with who? Let's start with Multipole and Damien Darkblood. And then let's go with Red Rush. Actually, I think Red Rush might be good. Mm-mm. Decent, decent, decent. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Green Ghost, decent. Um, you know what? Machine Head is gonna be decent. I'll go over that in a few. Uh, Aquarius. A part of me wants to put Aquarius in good. Aquarius should probably be a niche. Aquarius should probably be a niche. Because you're not going to use an Aquarius. And, okay, let me cover that. You're not going to use an Aquarius probably in Arena. But Aquarius is actually really, really good for GDA events. Something that, when you're going against, like, teams that have a lot of, like, shielding, he's actually pretty good. Because he removes the shields. Even at level 1, he removes one positive effect. And if that one positive effect is if the person that has a positive effect only has like an immortal shield, like when Mortal pops his shield bubble, he will remove that immortal shield even at level 1, which is really, really strong. Because there's not many characters that have that type of ability to remove, which is why I want to put him in good. But other than that ability, you wouldn't use him. But that ability is so good that I feel like he should be in good. But I'm going to put him in niche because that's the definition of a niche ability. Like, you're only using him for that ability, which is niche. But I would put him in good because just of that ability. But I'm going to put him in niche because of that. Now, Multipole, like I told you guys before, Multipole has the random usage of being used for certain characters. And overall, I think he is a good, decent damage dealer. I've seen him do some real damage. Actually, I'm going to move him up here because I think he's a better damage dealer than the rest of these guys. Yeah, Multipole's actually just pretty good. Like, he's actually pretty good. But you also don't want to take a blue character that high. There's a lot of characters that can do what he does better. But his rare usages and the rare rates that you can do, the rare abilities you can do with him, the things you can pull off with him, is why I will put him in decent. Damien Darkblood, he's one of the only people that is a real support attacker. He's a duelist in that sense, that he is able to deal damage. While dealing damage, he's giving damage increase. He's giving damage buffs or HP buffs depending on what's happening. So anytime an enemy ally dies, he's gonna give a damage buff to his team, and anytime an enemy dies, he's gonna give a healing buff to his team. And if you're using people like Universa, Shapesmith, Seance Dog, and Alan, this is actually really, really good to have. So yes, he works very well with World Beyond characters. And the more World Beyond characters we get, is going to be the better and more useful he actually is. Green Ghost, she's not the best healer, but she is good at keeping herself alive. So for that reason alone, she is a decent character. She can keep herself up for a pretty good amount of time and be kind of annoying to take out. So put her in decent for GDA missions and maybe Cecil, Alliance War, because she can waste people's time. The Machine Head, he's very decent in any type of battle situation. His main advantage is mostly in GDA ops, summoning the Battle Beast and summoning his two soldiers, making him summon basically 3 different characters. His damage is decent to bad. His ability to have the summons are cool, but he doesn't actually heal any health at all. So he's not a good healer as a support. He could have just basically been an attacker, a glorified summoning attacker. But yeah. So I'm going to put him in decent. I actually might even put them both below these two guys. Because I think both of these two guys are actually better than these two. For decent, is there anyone else I would put in decent? You know what? People might crucify me for this. Because I know he has a huge fandom. I'm going to put Rex in decent. Now, once again, I've seen some people build Rex insanely. And they swear up and down that Rex is a god. Because of this ability right here. So the damage he can do to invaders. But I don't know. I definitely see his benefit because I use him in my well done mission. And he definitely helps me there. He definitely benefits me there. I just can't see myself using him in arena. But I have gone against him in arena. And I have even lost to him in arena. So, like, that's the only thing that makes me consider, like, maybe he isn't decent. Maybe he's good. Great. But for me personally, I'm going to just say he's decent. For the most average common player, I'm going to say he's decent because most people are not going to build him to a stupid high level. So yeah, I'm going to say decent. His second ability is absolutely good. The third ability is good. His main ability is good. So like I said, he's good. He's good. It's just who's really going to build him? Most common players aren't going to build a blue character. So yeah, I'm going to put him in decent. He could definitely be in good, but I'm going to just put him in decent for right now. Because we have so many other categories and only a few characters left. Now, when we get to good, now this is where a lot of these people are going to get put. We're going to start out with the Maulers. The Maulers are good. I'll say the range Mauler is definitely better. And you could probably put them in great, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm going to save that for the man that makes those teams great. Who else is good? Good. He's actually pretty good. Now, would I use him over some of the characters that are going to be up here? Freak no, he's basically food for them. But he actually is good when you build him. When you actually fully commit and build him, he actually is pretty good. Monster Girl, good. She has her totem. Her totem's good. Her overall healing, everything is good. Her defense is really good. It's just she's a human, and that's her biggest problem. So, yeah. Immortal is good. He's very good. He's a great beginner character to use. Very, very efficient. Very old reliable-ish. Bulletproof, good. His damage is actually really good. When you fully commit, once again, like Russ Livingston here. Once you fully commit, he actually really is good. I'll put him probably below. Would I put him below the Maulers? Yeah, I'll put him below the Maulers. Angstrom, he's good. He once again, he works well with the Maulers, and he's a good, decent support. He doesn't give health, but he does give stat buffs. And with the new advantage they gave him, he actually gives stat decretions as well to the enemy teams, which I think is pretty good. Made him even more good. Before I would have probably put him in decent. Now I would say he's good. So that's going to be everybody in that category. And if we go over their abilities, we'll start off with Immortal. Immortal, we all know it. His main ability is this immunity bubble upon reaching 1 HP. Yeah, right here. When he reaches 9 HP, he becomes immune for 5 seconds and increases energy attack by 30% for 5 seconds. This ability has a 15% cooldown. Yeah, that ability right there is definitely his best ability. That's his bread and butter. This ability right here is also pretty good because once you get it to level 10, he will always forever be taking a percentage of the healing of his allies, which is 100% amazing to do. His ultimate, not the best, and his secondary is not the best either, but it is somewhat of a way to fight against the Viltrumites. So, W, anything that has ability to go against the Viltrumites. So, he is good. Bulletproof, on the other hand, you do need to invest quite highly in him, but I've seen some people invest quite highly in him, and I've heard the rumors of what he can do when you invest quite highly in him, and his damage output at the top level of like building him can actually be pretty good. Pretty good. Once again, like we said with Monster Girl, she has her totem customized for her to make her be a little better. They did rework her and buff a lot of her abilities, so a lot of her abilities got a stat buff. And the fact that she works so well with Shrinking Ray, War Woman, Immortal, Bulletproof, Robot, Rudy. She works so well with so many of those characters that she is just so flexible with all the other GDA characters, which is another reason why I would say she's good. Rust Livingston, with his confusion ability, he's also a very good partner for someone like an Anissa to deal damage to humans and really destroy humans in GDA missions. So he's a GDA mission machine, such as are the Maulers, and you know me, guys. You guys know I love my Maulers. I even boosted my Maulers' abilities. Like, I love my Mauler twins. The Maulers, their main ability and their main ability to be used is the fact that the more you have of them, the more cracked out their team is going to be because of their stats. So if you go with 4 range Maulers or 4 melee Maulers, depending on the strategy of what you're trying to do, and a Powerplex or 3 main Maulers and 3 melee Maulers with a Angstrom Livy and a Powerplex, it's nasty what they can do. And then when we get to Mr. Angstrom, who I actually want to build ever since they did that ability upgrade, right here, this ability here is just super good. And they even buffed how much he can actually do with the Maulers. Now at level 15, he can do 35% of whatever the Maulers have, which is insanely good if you boost that. And then this at level 15, he's going to give a positive effect of anything for 40%. So he can give a 40% life leech. He can give a 40% life steal. He can get a 40% attack boost. He can get a 40% attack damage, a physical damage boost. He can give any type of stat like that to his team, and then give a 20% random status effect up to the enemy. So a 20% decretion of defense, 20% energy decretion, 20% critical, 20% what bleed, a 20% anything burn. It's a negative effect he can give just randomly to the enemy team, and it lasts for 10 seconds. So those 2 abilities right there make it really useful, and the fact that he also has a instant kill ability, he actually is a pretty good character. You know what? I've been convinced myself just from reading his kit, he's probably in the top 3 of the good tier. He's actually not bad if you build him. Now, when we get to good or great, these are going to be great heroes. You can't go wrong with picking them. There are people that are better, but you can't go wrong with picking these guys. And I'm going to start out with Dinosaurus is great. He is really great. Powerplex is great. You know what? I'm gonna put him in decent because he doesn't do anything too special. His damage output isn't that good, and he doesn't have any actual healing moves because he's an attacker. I'm gonna put him there. Now, if you do run Healing Band on him and pair him with a robot, it's actually pretty good. They do work very well together. But his abilities, I was very hyped for him, but his abilities are very lackluster. I will not lie to you. So for that reasoning, I think I should throw him in decent. Now we got these 2 that we got to go up here with. Great. Who else would I put in great? Blue Sea Mark, OG Mark is great. He is great. Especially now with his coalition tag thing, he's He's always going to be great to build. Always going to be good for the foreseeable future. Um, I'll put Red Rush in good. I wanted to put him in great, but now I'm thinking about seeing like who I'm putting in here. I don't think he's great. I think Red Rush is good. And the reason why I wanted to put him in great is because he gives if you come to Red Rush, he gives immunity shields when he saves someone's life. Where is it? When an ally drops 25%, he will basically go run over to them and give them an immunity shield for 3.2 seconds, and he can do this every 30 seconds. And then if you take it up to level 15, he can do it every 21 seconds, and he also increases their critical chance by 45%. So now if you run something that even brings that cooldown even down more, I think he can be like, if you use something that will bring his cooldowns down, this ability here is just so good. Plus his Viltrumite, this ability here, when against attackers, he increases the team's he increases the critical damage of team by 45%, and then when in addition increases original Guardians of the Globe's allies physical defense by 10%. So yeah, I think he's pretty good. Now they did nerf him a little bit, which is also another reason maybe why I should put him in good instead of great. They did nerf him a little bit because before he was a Viltrumite counter and now he is not. Before, instead of doing the defense boost to GDA, original GDA, it was to all GDA, and it was whenever going against a Viltrumite. But yeah, now they made it going against any attacker, but then they changed it to restrict it more to only certain characters. So it was like a buff and a nerf with so basically a well balanced thing. Who else is a great? Robot is great. Definitely gonna say Robot's great. Robot, you'll never go wrong with building a robot. Never will go wrong with building a robot. Agent Spider, I would say he's on the worst end. Yeah. Lucan, surprisingly, I kind of want to put Lucan in great after his buff. But, will I use Lucan over Immortal? Yes. Yes, I would. I would. As of right now, I would use Lucan over Immortal. Would I use Lucan over any of the people I see down here? Yes, I would. After his buff, I would. Will I use Lucan above any of these people? Probably not. Now, Thula also. I'll put Thula above Lucan. Thula is another one that, if you build her, she's going to pay off. She'll never not pay off if you build her. But it's the fact that there's so many people ahead of her that you probably don't want to build her. So yeah, I would stop there probably for great. For great, that'll be the end of it. So we'll go over Lucan and his buff. Lucan was given a damage buff, a tank, health buff, a defense buff. He was completely overall just buffed up, like how Battle Beast was. He was given true damage. So if you bring this up to, what is it now? You have to bring this up to all the way to level 13. Or no, not this one. It's this one. What the hell? Did they give him this change? Where's the change at? Where? Oh, it's here. No, this is his ability with Thula. Where the hell is his true damage? Hold up. Because they gave him a true damage buff to make him deal damage. Like, this ability now increases the defense when a Viltrumite enemy dies. We knew that. This one, he reduces their physical defense when he attacks enemies. Yeah, we knew that. Now, this ability here, he will target the person with the least amount of health to try to hopefully kill them. Oh, there it goes. It does 30. It does true damage equal to his minimum HP. Maximum HP. So the damage and explosion is going to be more detrimental than it was before. And then his team up with Dula is still pretty good. And then we got Dula herself, which this ability here is just absolutely disgustingly good, especially if you take it all the way to 15. Like, it's disgustingly good how much damage she can do. When especially when playing on a Viltrumite team or playing against Viltrumites, that damage she can do is just really good. This ability here combined with a blue suit mark is also very good. And then her team up with Lucan, obviously. Her ultimate is probably one of the weaker ones, but she makes up for it with the other three abilities. Agent Spider is a unique counter to someone like a Universa and a Nissa because his web ability has him pull her in, and then his uppercut ability will let him do damage to her. Something like if you ever played Marvel Rivals and you go against Spider-Man when he webs you in and then punches you, how he can do so much damage in that combo. It's kind of the same thing that Agent Spider will do. Plus, Agent Spider gives all last line. If there's any last line of defense allies, he's going to give his entire team a critical chance boost and a critical damage boost, which is overall always just good. And then he has a few stun abilities with good damage bases on them that every time they do a certain amount of stun on webs, he'll stun a character and deal damage to them. And they receive critical his critical damage receives a 20% boost for 3.2 seconds, and this is something that he can do every 2 seconds, the stunning effects. So it's pretty good. Like I said, he's a pretty good character. And the fact that he can sometimes instant kill universes makes him very good. Powerplex. We all know Powerplex is that guy to use in technologist teams because of his technologist energy attack boost that he gives to people with only a 13% cooldown reduction of their abilities. And this is permanent. This doesn't have no like timer on it. This is always going to be his effect. So he's going to give 37% energy attack boost to technologist. If you pair him and Alan alongside someone like a Doc Seismic and a Komodo a Dinosaurus and maybe a robot, the damage that those guys can deal is absolutely insane. Who else? Dinosaurus. Once again, Dinosaurus is really good. He actually is surprisingly good. Like, I didn't expect him to be this good. He does surprisingly good damage for a defender. And he is also surprisingly fast with his attacks. I think my biggest complaint about Dinosaurus is that he dies a little quickly. But other than that, he does really good damage. He feels a lot like what Battle Beast should feel like. So I like it. And then we got Robot. Everybody knows what Robot's about. Robot's just one of the most old, reliable healers. Low investment, very beginner-friendly kind of healer. Very beginner-friendly character. He is just a great character in the game. I don't think you ever will be able to go wrong with building a robot. And then we got OG Mark, another character that's just super beginner-friendly. You never can go wrong with building him. You never can go wrong with wanting to use him. His abilities are decent, nothing insane, nothing good or too bad. His main ability allows you to do a good amount of damage to multiple targets. And if you're in a 1v1 situation, then you get to do a ton of damage to one target. So that does help him a lot in certain fights in 1v1s. His ability here to give himself that immunity bubble, like if he was the same as Immortal, when his HP drops 20%. He also gives himself an energy attack of 10% for 6 seconds, and a cooldown reduction on his abilities for 28 seconds. So yeah, and at the start of a battle, he will also dash towards the enemy, dealing extra 5% attack damage for 5 seconds. So yeah, that's gonna be all the great characters. Now we're gonna get to amazing. Now amazing, we're gonna have to start out with, I'm gonna say Komodo Dragon. I'm gonna say Seance Dog. I'm gonna say Viltrumite Nolan. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Battle Beast. And I know everybody crucified me the last time that Battle Beast should not be higher than some of the other characters. But after his buff, I do say I think Battle Beast is better than anyone down here or down here. I think Battle Beast beats any single one of these people in a 1v1 situation now after his buff because he is a lot more like Omni-Man than he is any of these characters. But I will say if there is anybody in these lower categories that I would say that has a good chance against Battle Beast, it would probably be Dinosaurs, to be honest. Dinosaurs would give him a good chance, a good fight. Good fight. Mark honestly would not. Like, he could and he wouldn't at the same time because he's going to heal off of fighting Mark, but then Mark with his shield bubble and his ultimate, he could end up beating Battle Beast. So there's a very close call between these two. Like, I can probably move Mark up. You know what? I am going to move Mark up. I'm going to move Mark up. I think Mark is a little better than the rest of these guys. I'm going to move Mark up. I'll put Mark and Battle Beast there. So that way it's not like I'm crazy. I think they're both there. Like I said, you can never go wrong with building a Mark, so I'm not even mad at putting him in amazing. Okay. Now we got a few more characters. You know what? People might disagree with me on this, but Cecil is amazing. I love Cecil. Now, I'm going to be truthful. As much as I do love him, I'm going to put him at the bottom. He is really, really good. Cecil is a surprisingly good healer with a surprisingly good damaging ultimate and a surprisingly good second option of if his teammates die. His reanimen are the thing that most people think about when you use Cecil, but that's not what I think about. I think about that as a second option. His overall healing he can do when he's using healing gel, and you actually boost his ability to teleport, which is his main way to heal. This ability right here, he can do this 3 times per battle. If you get this all the way to 15, he'll be able to do it 15 times per battle. And 7 times per battle, and that is an absurd amount of times. And every time he teleports away, he will then heal the whole team of 100% of his defense and increase their critical chance by 80% for 6 seconds. And he removes all buffs off of the enemy teams and gives it to his allies. That is absolutely ludicrously insane. And then his beam ability, if you take it all the way, it does a shit ton of damage. Like, shit ton of damage. And basically also removes all status effects off the enemy team, which is another thing. Like, a team can't have stats when he's on the floor. And then even this one, like, just pairing him with other GDA characters is good. Me personally, I wouldn't use him with GDA characters. I like to use him with Viltrumite characters because Viltrumite characters have better stats. So when they die, the reanimen come back stronger than most of the GDA characters. And then obviously the thing we're talking about is his reanimen. And if you took his reanimen to level 15, they have 90% of the person that they're being summoned as. So that's basically getting the character back at that point. And upon arriving, they do 350 damage when they basically hit the ground. So, like, it's disgustingly insane how good he actually is. And then Battle Beast, his damage was tweaked, his health was tweaked. His abilities weren't necessarily dramatically tweaked, but because of his damage buff, those abilities play a much bigger factor now because now he's actually dealing more damage and healing more from the damage that he deals. So big advantage there. We already went over OG Mark. Viltrumite Nolan. Now, the Viltrumite Nolan or Prison Nolan, whichever one this is, um, his ultimate is one of the best ultimates in the game. I'm gonna be totally. His ultimate is one of the strongest ultimates in the game. His Viltrumite Rage thing here. This one, what is it? The Great Purge. This one here is something like Blue Suit Mark's ability. Not as strong as Blue Suit Mark's ability, but definitely something you would want to invest into if you're going to use the character. This ability is supposed to be something like Conquest's, but to just basically do damage. And then this one is to basically give him something like also like Blue Suit Mark. So he's kind of like a combination of Blue Suit Mark and Conquest. And he just does really good damage. He's just a raw, natural damage dealing monster. And his ultimate is just really good too. So he's just a really solid damage dealer. Komodo Dragon is one of the hardest tanks in the game to kill. He, other than the fact that he's a human, he is actually really tough to put down. He was actually in the top 3 tanks for a pretty good time, and maybe arguably still is in the top 3. If you build him, I don't even know what makes him so strong, to be honest with you. It's this ability here, this level 15 ability here is definitely of reasoning, because he bounces back so much damage. His damage output from his defense is so good. He plays well with the other Lizard League members, but once again, this is why I said the green characters down here have a rare usage of being allied with him just to boost his defense. Because if I'm running a Komodo, if I'm running a iguana, I mean, I guess I could run 2 iguanas and 2 king lizards, but if you don't want to have to do that, you know, you can throw in those green guys just for fodder, but it's gonna definitely give him the boost he needs. And then his ultimate isn't one of the best ones, but it does do something, and it grants him a shielding after he uses it, so it's fine. And then Seance Dog. Now Seance Dog is amazing. He's honestly the best healer in the game, to be honest with you. But the reason why I'm putting him in amazing is he's still very hard to obtain for most people. And most people aren't going to be able to build him the way that I have him built here or beyond. Unless you are a super duper whale. And like I said, he is very, very, very good. Don't get me wrong. He is very, very, very good. He is just very also hard to get and build. So for that reasoning, I'm going to put him in amazing. I don't know where the hell he just went. There he is. But yeah. I'm going to definitely put him in amazing because he is really good. All right. Now we got to the category that everybody wants to know. Must use. Must use. This is like the top echelon of people. How many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 14 people. So we basically got to put 9 people in this category right now. And then maybe I can be convinced to throw some people down low. I'm going to say SS must use. We're definitely going to start off. You know what? I'm going to put, before we even do that, I'm going to put Omni-Man there. And I'm going to also put I'm going to put Donald there too. Would I put Donald above? No, I'm going to put Donald below. Yeah, I'll do that. Now that's more nice. That's more nice for me. All right. Who do I start with here? I think I have to start with Armored Adam Eve. No. Yeah. I'm going to start with Armored Adam Eve. And then I'm going to go Alan. Now, I do feel like some people are going to tell me that he should be above them. And overall damage-wise, maybe. You're right. But these two are just so good. They're tank like these two. If I go over these two, we're talking about Donald's missiles, his immunity bubble, his his overall being able to be paired with a leader to do more damage, like conquest, and then his self destructibility, like Lucan. Like, not one ability from Donald is a miss. Every single ability on Donald is fucking amazing, and his damage output is just absolutely amazing as well. And then the same kind of goes for Nolan. Like, Nolan is just a absolute machine, a unit. He does good against Viltrumites. He does good against humans. He does good against World Beyond. He does good against everybody. And with his totem, he's even more devastating because the totem allows him to get a 7% physical attack boost while also removing positive effects off of enemies. Like, with each attack, like, bro, he is disgustingly good. Like, everything in my body wants to put him in must use at this point because he actually is too good. Maybe I can't put him down there. He might actually have to be up here. He is just super good, bro. Call me crazy, man. Thragg, to me, I don't have Thragg built, so I'm a little unbiased. I really want to put Thragg here. I know it's insane. I know. I really want to just put Thragg in amazing. I feel Thragg is in one of these two categories. Like, legitimately, he's in one of these two categories. I know for a fact Thragg is not up here. I don't. If anyone tells me Thragg is up here, you are delusional and you are just being fangirled out because he was the new character added and you're just a fangirl for Thragg. There's no shot in hell Thragg is a top 5 character. No shot in hell. I've battled a few Thraggs already in Arena and I have wiped the floor with him with my team. I have wiped the floor with him. He is nowhere near a top 5. Nowhere near. He is nowhere near top 5, and that's just me being honest. He's nowhere near top 5. I've went against people that had Thragg at level 1,200. I went against people that had Thragg at level 1,300. I went against people that had Thragg at level 1,000, and I have literally smacked the shit out of him. I treated him like he treated the guys in the episode of season 4, episode 7. That's how I treated Thragg. So call me crazy. I'm putting Thragg here. It's my opinion. You can disagree with me. I do not think Thragg is in SSS must use yet. Especially the factor is most people can't even use him. If you didn't get lucky during his event, you're not going to be able to use him. Now, yes, some people are going to probably look at him and be like, oh, that's because you haven't tested him. No, I have tested him. And I've even went to some of my friends who have built him so far. And yes, he is just not. He's not. Like, seeing from their test points, I hear them glazing him when they're telling me, and I'm looking at what he's doing, and I'm like, he's not that strong. Now, his abilities are strong. This ability is definitely super strong. This ability is one of his strongest abilities. One of the strongest abilities I've ever seen. This ability is very good as well, but the scaling on it is not what I thought it was going to be, so it's actually not as bad. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. Is it good still? Yes, it's still very good. But it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. And even if I was to even if you took Thragg and you boosted every skill on him to level 15, I still don't think Thragg beats some of the characters that are going to be at the top of this list. So for that reasoning, I'm putting him in amazing. You can call me crazy. Don't care. Armored Adam Eve, I'm going to put in SS because of the fact of her shielding ability that she gives to her allies when they are melee is fucking amazing. Her rebirth ability is even better than Alan's, which is why I said I want to put her actually above Alan. Her ball ability here is also very good for her damage, stunning multiple targets and pulling multiple targets in. And her ultimate ability is also very freaking good because it just does so much damage. It stuns all the enemies. It gives them a bleed effect. It slams them all to the ground if they're flying enemies. And the only drawback is that she ends up being paralyzed for like a few seconds after using it. That's literally it. She is absolutely goated. She is a top tier tank. She's arguably the second best tank in the game. And the only person that can even argue that with her is probably Alan. And then Alan, I think we all know Alan, the alien, Mr. OG himself. He's been in the game for so long. Alan's abilities here against World Beyond characters and even giving himself a slight boost against Viltrumites it's very clear. Hello, Victor. It's very clear he's good. His self healing, once again, when he gets to 1 HP, he could heal himself. It's not as good as Adam Eve's in my opinion, but I will be honest, if you do take it to level 15, it is significantly better. And then same thing with this ability down here. When he drops 10% HP, if you take this level 15, the damage increase is a big difference, and the defense increase is a big difference. But to spend the amount of currency elixir you would have to spend to get that 15% in each category, I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest with you. Now, the extra 20% of self-healing, it is definitely beneficial, but I would say at that point, you can just run Vitals Tablet on him, and that would be more official for you. And his ultimate is probably one of the worst ultimates to build in the game. Like, his ultimate already does 600%, and if you take this all the way to 15, it is better, but like, let's just say 10, you're only gaining 90% extra damage, and you're only getting a cooldown reduction of what? 4, so that's 6 seconds. So, like, I guess. And if you take it to level 15, it's another 90, so that's 115. 115, and then taunt all enemies. Like, I love the taunting the enemies part of it. Like, taunting enemies here. But then what do you get at this point? Increases their energy attack by 20%. Like, I don't really care for that. Once again, this can definitely be good. Every 16 seconds to be doing this definitely could be good against characters like Universa, characters like Doc Seismic. It definitely could be beneficial. But for the most part, I don't really care for that ability. Hence why, as you see, I didn't build it up. Now, we have another person I would want to put up here. It's going to be Adam Eve herself. Now, I am putting her above these three because she is just that good of a healer. Now, Omni-Man is definitely a better damage dealer than probably she is a healer. But if I'm being honest, you have to respect your healers in this game. Healers are what makes this game work. So for that reasoning, I'm putting her there. And speaking of healers that make this game work, I know it's going to be crazy. General Krieg is up there as well. He's not top 5. General Krieg is up there as well. Now, if I'm being honest, I like to do it this way. I like to put her above General Krieg, but I think most people would agree that it's probably this way. I like to put her above General Krieg only because I value the fact that she shields and heals versus he just shields. But I mean, potato, they're both great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 of these gotta go. And I am having a hard time debating in my head. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Doc Seismic, he's definitely up here with Omni-Man. They're definitely like right here together. And the reasoning that is because when I tell you Doc Seismic's damage he does to Viltrumites, like this ability right here is so good to what he does against Viltrumites, and especially when paired with a Alan and a Universa. Alan, Universa, and Doc Seismic might sound weird to you, but oh my god, are they an absolute unit of a team to kill Viltrumites. Like, they deal some damage against them boys. Yeah, they deal some damage against them boys. I'll tell you that. Like, some real damage against them boys. And yeah, they're good. Then we didn't go over the Adam Eve. Adam Eve is a character that does take a lot of investment, which is the only reason why I'll say I'll put Krieg above her. And that's because, as you see here from my Adam Eve, I have 11, 6, 12, 11. She does take heavy investment for her to be good. Versus someone like General Krieg, who takes a little less investment, but still somewhat pretty high because I have him at 10, 10, 5, 10. Um, yes, I think Krieg and Adam Eve are both really good together. I think you can argue that they're both even. It's just the fact that she heals where he does it, because as you see here, she shields all her enemies and gives them a healing over time. This here, she bounces back damage when she paired with a team member, and this also works if she pairs herself with herself. So if you pair her with Armored Adam Eve, this also still plays a factor, which is what I usually like to do. I think it works the best way, and they bounce their abilities off each other really nicely. Um, this is the healing effect that she'd be giving when she gives a shield to her allies, and she even gives them a little bit of a damage increase. And then this is her little Orbeez that fly out of her body that can deal a huge amount of health to her teammates or a huge amount of damage to her enemies. So overall, she's just really, really good. And then we all know General Krieg's abilities. His ultimate slaps the enemy into the other targets, dealing 400% damage to the enemy that's slapped. Um, and then also the enemies hit in the radius of the damage, they take 300% of the area effect damage and reduces their defense by 42% for 6 seconds, which is a huge decretion of their defense. Then this one is his shielding ability when he gives all his allies a shield, um, and the shield is equal to 26% of his attack, and he does this at the start of every wave for the sense of either a battle or for GDA ops. And then I don't like this ability right here. This ability is really bad to me. I really don't like it. It's basically a targeting ability. So anytime somebody dies, he basically like sentences that person to be attacked directly by the entire team. But I usually don't like that ability. And that ability is an ability that wastes a lot of time. So yes, I'm not a huge fan of that ability. Now, this ability is arguably, obviously, his best ability, which is summoning another Viltrumite. The Viltrumite that he summons will basically mirror him, so they will mirror his stats, and they will mirror his skills. So they will have 60%, 62% of his stats, and they will have his equal skill value. So if he summons an Anissa, a Lucan, or a Thula, they will have 62% of his stats, and they will have whatever level is his skills. So the Thula will have level 10, level 10, level 5, level 10 in my situation, as you see, because that's what I have. Or the Anissa will have level 10, level 10, level 5, level 10. Or the Lucan, vice versa. It's the same concept. But that means that having his skills max means the person that you're summoning is that much stronger, which is what makes him so strong. And then we already went over Omni-Man and all the other characters here. So yeah. Did we go over Thragg? I don't think we went over Thragg's abilities. I think I just skimmed them. Like this ability here is really strong. He pulls them in, does a good amount of damage. It's nothing insane. This ability here, against the coalition members. And now the reason I don't like this ability too much, I love it for the fact of pairing him with other Viltrumites. I love that. But when you put it against the coalition thing, there's not many people using the coalition characters other than maybe Space Racer. So it's not really something that's going to be vitally used. This ability, like I said, went over it. It's something like a blue suit mark ability, and then this ability is really, really like, this is like a Kamehameha that he's just constantly blasting out. So I would say out of his 4 abilities, I would say 2 are busted in his first ability and his second ability, and I would say the other 2 are very good but not busted. And with the last person in this category, call me crazy, because oh boy, is this person really good and really heavily used. But I think their spot can be substituted if you're not going against humans. And most people aren't using humans in their teams, at least in the higher arenas, because they don't want this person countering them. And that's Anissa. And you guys know me. I love my Anissa. My Anissa, oh my god, I love my baby Anissa. But this man right here, bro, he has convinced me I have become a full-blown believer in the space eraser, bro. He's earned his spot in the top 5 for me. He is so, and I mean so disgustingly good. Like, oh my god. And the thing is, it's hard. It's really hard to pair them against each other because they work so good with each other. But he is, oh my god, like, mwah, chef's kiss. He is so, so, so good. Like, it is insane. Now, first, let's go over Anissa because she's in the category below. Anissa, you guys know my Anissa. All of her abilities to me, once again, you might get opinions from other people that say otherwise. All of her skills suck, besides this one skill to nuke humans. That's literally the only reason you use her. All of her abilities, in my opinion, suck. Her ultimate, I don't even use. I hate her ultimate. It's useless to me. The only thing that's good about her ultimate is that it turns the fight into a 4v5 for a few seconds. That's it. But then when you're using it against someone that heals themselves, you're hurting yourself because every time you hit them out, they're coming back in, instant healing themselves. I hate her ability. The blast through ability when someone gets pushed back, that ability I'm cool with. It's cool. It's fine. And then if anyone dies upon it, like these two abilities here are cool. Like, okay, cool. Like little beneficial buffs. It's mainly her second ability that anyone cares about. Her ultimate sucks ass. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. She's already buffed it. But yes, that ability is what makes her bread and butter. And like I said, I couldn't dethrone her. I couldn't dethrone the other people that are up here, but dethroning her feels okay because I swap her out already. I already swap her out when I'm going against teams that don't have humans. So I think it's fair enough to swap her out for someone who counters Viltrumites because Viltrumites are so strong in the meta. And this guy finally might be able to stop that meta. He might finally be able to break those chains that we've been shackled to by the Viltrumites and finally give us hope to use a different fucking team. Finally. But probably not because Thragg came and put them chains right back onto your fucking wrist. So yeah. I'm going to say at number 5 in top 5, we're going with Blue Sumark. And I feel like that's crazy. I do feel like that's crazy because Blue Sumark is disgusting. I'm not going to lie to you. Top 5 is just an order. It's just kind of an orderless team. Like, you can argue in any order do you want to put this in. Like, I'm going to put Universe at second and Conquest first. And then I'm going to put Shapesmith. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I do between these three. Because Shapesmith is better than these two because, in my opinion, because he heals the team. But then I can argue that Blue Sumark also heals the team while also dealing a ton of damage because he gives the team Life Leech. And then I can also argue that Space Racer might not heal the team like these two, but Space Racer does so much more damage than both of them. And Space Racer does increase the team's overall defense. So it's like, I don't know how the hell you debate between these three juggernauts. I really don't. I'm going to just do this. I feel like this is right. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's fair. I feel like doing that's fair. And yeah, we'll start off with Space Racer, bro. His Infinity Ray, he has 2 different instant kill abilities. Like, oh my god. This ability here to increase his attack by 7% for each Viltrumite present on the enemy team. Like, okay. And then increase the defense for each Coalition Planet member. And then, what is this one? This stacks up to 10 times for each time he kills somebody. So he can give himself a 70% attack boost off of killing Viltrumites. So that's actually disgusting. Wait, Space Racer instant kills? Yes. This ability here, when people are at 25% HP, he will instant kill them. Like, when he uses this ability, if they're at 25% HP, which is the HP that most characters are at before their abilities get triggered for their health and stuff, so they can start healing, he just obliterates them. Instant wipe. So, yeah, he's a disgusting character. Same thing with this one. This ability here if this is basically, so when he's shooting his beam, when he's shooting his laser, he's aiming at a person. He's aiming at the target. So let's say I'm playing I'm Space Racer and I'm aiming at you, Alexander, and I'm aiming at you and I'm shooting at you. Basically, let's say Victor and let's say Victor and Star are behind you. And let's say like you're Conquest and you're the tank, I'm shooting at you, and Victor's your Anissa, and F Star is your General Krieg, and they're both following behind you. As I'm shooting you, they're also getting hit by the big Infinity Ray beam. You're taking 100% of the damage that I'm shooting you because I'm targeting you. But them behind you, they're taking, where I have it at, they're taking 27% of the damage. So if the actual damage that's being shot at is like, let's just say 100 damage, you're taking 100 damage, they're both taking 27. So if it's 100,000, you're taking 100,000 damage, they're both taking 27,000 damage. And that's just for each shot, each trick, each boom, 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 each fire rate. And then on top of that, if the enemy is below 10% of their max HP, so if they're at 10% of their max HP or below, they just instantly die. They just instant die. So, and if you crank this up all the way to level 15, they take 35% of the damage. Instead of 27, they take 35% damage. And it increases the instant kill ability of 10% to 15%. So at 15%, if they're at 15% HP, the person that you're targeting shooting or the people behind him are at 15%, it just instant wipes them. So you can shoot a beam, and let's say Conquest is at 15% healing, 15% HP, max HP, and so is the Thula and the General Krieg, and your Space Racer is the last alive, and he's on a smidget of health, and they're all pulling up on him on that little amount of HP, and he just goes, boom! It's going to be like the real Space Racer gun, and it's going to just go, bink, and they're all just going to drop. It's disgusting. Like, it's actually disgusting. And then this ability here, that he just, at the beginning of the wave, just dashes through the enemies, applying a super burn on them all, and then lowering their defense and dealing damage through the blast through them. And then if any of them die quickly, then he's just going to blast through them again. And anytime they die, he's just going to keep blasting through them and blasting through them and repositioning and blasting through them and blasting through them. He, like, I'm telling you. And then the same thing with this ability. I believe it was, which one was it? Space Racer automatically targets the position to fire the best amount of beams. So he's going to be constantly moving, which makes it hard to kill him. So like I said, he's just really freaking good. He's just really good. And then we're going to move on to Shapesmith. Shapesmith with Healing Gel is what I use him with. Shapesmith with Healing Gel, his combination of pulling people in, he brings in all the enemies and allies. He pulls everybody in. And when he pulls them in, he's going to apply a 255 of his base damage to each grabbed enemy, and increases the grabbed allies by 26% of their by 20 he gives them a 26 attack increase, and then their life leech by 76% for 6 seconds. He grants them a damage buff and a 76% life leech for 6 seconds, and that's why they jump so much health. And then this ability here, when fighting with not of this Earth allies, he boosts all team healing effects by 21% and defense by 21%. So this is why I always say if you pair him with Robot, it's very good. Pairing him with Robot, as long as you have like an Allen or a Universal on the team, because the Robot's going to do a lot of healing because of Shapesmith. This also works with someone like Cecil if you pair them with another World Beyond. If you have another World Beyond team, it works with someone like that. Then this ability here is basically a buff for his main ability. When performing the Brother in Arms ability, this one, he also instantly returns to his original form, confusing enemies for 4.2 seconds. While they are confused, they will attack their own allies. Enemies that are confused will receive 100% critical chance and a reduction of 16% of their defense for 4.5 seconds after their confusion wears off. So basically, they're going to get a super power boost to deal more damage while they're punching their own allies. And then when their confusion wears off, they're going to go, huh. And they're going to feel worn out. And when they're worn out, they're going to get a 15% defense decretion, allowing you to do damage to them now on a higher amount. And then his last ability here, every 5 seconds, Shapesmith will heal. When Shapesmith's health is below 30%, he absorbs 65% of the incoming damage taken for 4 seconds, and then heals his whole team by a minimum of 25 of his max HP. That ability right there is what makes Shapesmith immortal. Once you get that ability boosted, that's what makes Shapesmith feel like he's an immortal. And that's also the ability that when you see my team's like super low in health and then they just randomly jump back up to a huge amount of health, that's the ability right there. And that's because of that ability and because of Healing Gel. That ability combined with Healing Gel, it's insane. It's actually insane. Now we're going to go to Blue Suit Mark. Blue Suit Mark is just, he is just amazing. And like I said, Blue Suit Mark, Shapesmith, and Space Racer together are just mwah. But yes, Blue Suit Mark, he gives you a life leech ability and an increase in attack power. And if there is Viltrumites or invaders, he increases his own life leech by 5% and his own attack by 5%. And this stacks up to 10 times. So no, this stacks up to 7 times at the level I have it. But if you get it all the way to level 15, it stays at 7. Okay, so it doesn't go beyond that. It doesn't go beyond 7. But yeah, no. This ability here, you're going to get basically 70% life leech with a, what is that? 84%, with an 84%, attack boost. And then if you combine that with the Space Racer attack boost of 70%, that's a 152 attack boost for your entire team, with a 70 life leech and a, what does Space Racer give life leech wise? Oh no, defense. Space Racer gives defense. So, you're talking about some combos right there. Yeah, no. And then Blue Suit Mark also has the true damage ability that basically means that he cuts through people's defenses. So if he's attacking someone like if he's attacking someone like a Conquest, Conquest has a lot of defense. He's just cutting straight through and just going straight to raw health. He's going straight through the defense, straight to their raw health. It basically means like it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain the true damage, but basically it's the way that I best describe it is I believe it negates gear and defense. It just basically means they're doing direct damage to his health. I believe that's how it works. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it works, but I believe that's how it works because the only person that I ever see absolutely obliterate a Shapesmith or a Conquest, people that are super hard to kill, is a Blue Suit Mark. And that's the only reason why I can think it, is because he's just attacking through their stuff. And I think that's how true damage works. And then this headbutt ability is basically when an enemy drops below 25 HP, Invincible will rush into them, delivering a series of 3 headbutts, dealing a total of 25% of the enemy's max HP as damage. Over 19% of the damage dealt is also applied to him, so he takes about 19% of that damage back. His main ability also gets a 31% charge, and he can do this every 8 seconds. And then his main ability is the Fury of Punches ability. It's kind of like Bulletproof's ability, just more stronger. And then with the 2 top fighters of the game, we got Universa. We all know that Universa's last line of defense thing, when she has last line defense allies that die, it dramatically boosts her. This is why we said earlier that people like to use Oliver with her, because every time Oliver dies, she's going to give her all of the buffs that she needs, because Oliver is last line defense and not of this earth. So he's giving her everything she needs. This stacks up to 10 times, meaning that she can get 170 extra critical damage, 170% extra critical damage with a extra, what is that? An extra 15% energy attack power. So, yeah. And then she has the ability here that once every 15 seconds, Universa will give herself a 25 plus critical chance boost for 7 seconds with a 15% life leech for 7 seconds. So, yeah, she's absolutely cracked. And then this ability here, which is the tripping the light fantastic, and what this basically does is it allows her to chain her damage from target to target to target to target, making her be able to attack all 5 targets on the battlefield at once. So yeah, she's just busted. This is why Universa is the best attacker in the game. Only even arguable between her and Space Racer. And then we have Conquest, who is just the best stat ball in the game. He is the most status of stat balls in the game. And that's because just look at his health, look at his attack, look at his defense. This man is just a walking tank, and his abilities also help him do that. His main ability is absolute devastation to the entire enemy team when he slams down. Plus, this ability gives him a shielding at level 10 of 20% of his attack power, which is insane because he has such high attack power. Then when you combine him with a leader, so this can be Thragg, this can be Conquest. I mean, this can be Thragg, this can be General Krieg, this can be Universa, this can be Cecil, which all 4 of those characters play very well with him, and all 4 of them have a leader tag. Also, if you did want to use a character that doesn't have a leader tag, all you have to do is add Thrax and armor onto whoever you want to use with him, and that considers them a leader, meaning this will trigger this ability for him. This is one of his most important abilities and best abilities, which allows him to break through shields. He's able to basically break immunity shields, so he can break Immortal's immunity shield, Mark's immunity shield, the immunity shield that Red Rush likes to give to his allies. He can break regular shielding that Adam Eve, Armored Adam Eve, like to give. He can break those shieldings, so this dude is very busted. And then this ability here, which basically doesn't allow him to get a negative effect put on him. Anytime you try to apply a negative effect on him, he is going to basically take that negative effect and go, oh, yeah, you thought, headbutt you, send the effect back onto the person that tried to apply it to him, while also dealing, 230% of his base attack damage at them. And also, he pushes them back when he does this. So a person if you have a General Krieg and a Nissa and a Thragg on your team, all of them are going to strike that guy that he just headbutted because it's a pushback ability, and those characters all have abilities that when someone gets pushed back, they go and attack them. So him doing that headbutt can be sometimes a death sentence for a character. So yeah, Thragg is Conquest is he's just that guy. He's just that guy. So I think this is my tier list. What do you think? What do you guys think? This was a long video. I'm looking at the timer. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes, Bobby. But yeah, this was a long one. I think we went over all the characters and why I put them where I put them. If you disagree with me or have an opinion of your own, feel free to put it in the comments. Now, don't be rude about it, because some of you guys take this tier list thing a little too far. Some of you guys lose your brains because you disagree with a person being somewhere. At the end of the day, this is all opinion based off of what I experienced in my experience of the game. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me, it's your choice. I'm going based off of what I've seen and from what I've tested. This is, I feel, the most accurate from the people I've tested. Now, there are some people that maybe you can swap around. Like I said, with these people up here, other than these two, I don't know about these guys. I don't know which way you'll swap them. And having her down here just feels wrong, but at the same time, she has to be because, I can't dethrone any of these people up here. I know a lot of people are going to complain about this, but I'm telling you, he's not that good. He's truly not as good as people are making him seem. People are making it seem like he's up here. I can for sure tell you he is not better than these 5 characters. I can for sure tell you that. If you want to put him up here with these guys, fine. I won't even be mad at it. But he is for sure not better than these 5 characters up here. For sure not better than these 5 right here. For sure not. Now, maybe if you build him super highly, maybe he is up here. But for me right now, for where I've tested him and from what I've seen, I think he's down here and amazing. And who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does belong up here. Maybe he does belong somewhere between here. But for right now, I think I'm gonna put him there. And at the maybe when I build him, maybe when I do more testing on him, maybe he'll come up here. But for right now, I think he's here. And I think I'm pretty good on everybody else. I feel very fine on everybody else here. When Tech Jacket or Thetis or Brits or whoever else gets involved, this is the tier list we're gonna start with, and then we're just gonna add them on. So it'll be a lot shorter in those times. And then if reworks happen, then we'll probably swap this all around. But this is my most accurate tier list, I think, up to date to today. My Battle Beast did fall down a good amount. Battle Beast did fall. But I do think I agree with all of this. The only character I feel like some people might really, really disagree on is going to be, what's his name? Dinosaurus. I feel like a lot of people will put Dinosaurus higher. I just don't know. Like, I like Dinosaurus a lot, but I don't think Dinosaurus is better than anybody up here. I don't think I would use Dinosaurus over any of these people up here, other than maybe Battle Beast. Maybe you can put him over Battle Beast. Like I said, you probably can use him up here with them. And then Cecil definitely is maybe just a personal opinion. Like I you know what? Because I'm not against the idea of maybe I'm being too high on Cecil, I'll move Cecil down. But yeah, like I feel like these two are very interchangeable. Like I can put Battle Beast there, and then put Dinosaurs up here, or I can I don't know. I feel like they're very even, which is not a good thing because he's a tank, he's an attacker. But yeah. And then as far as that, I think everybody else down here is all accurate. Like, especially the fact of her, she like everyone from this point down is just nuked by her, other than these two and him, because they're all humans. Majority of them are. So like you don't even, for the most part, you don't even see from Agent Spider down. You don't even see those characters in Arena. Like, for High Arena, from Agent Spider down, you don't see any of these characters. You will never see, like, I'm going to do it with my mouth. From here, all the way down, you don't see any of these characters in Arena. Like, any of them. You don't see any of these characters in Arena. Now, from this way up, you'll start seeing way more of these characters. From Powerplex all the way through these characters is the characters you actually see in Arena. And you see pretty much these characters up here all the time in Arena. Like these are the top characters in Arena. So, yeah. But like I said, this is overall the list. Tell me what you guys think about it in the comments. Who would you change? Who do you agree on? Is there a sleeper in here that I slept on? But let me know what you guys think down below. I love you guys. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. And hopefully this helped anybody that is new know who to build, who to go for. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys. Peace and love, baby. Peace out.